Okay, here we are, September 30th, 2018. We're at the Celebration for Unity. Marc Koller is the host. And I just wanted to do a quick video here with Mr. Starnes, who is the independent candidate for governor. And you can see this cool, he's got the ironing board, it's really cool.
Registering voters today.
Very cool.
Got two new voters.
Appreciate that. I'm a
the deadline's the 16th.
diehard Pacific Green guy here, and you know what? You've said a couple of things in some brief conversations here at the picnic that kind of struck a chord with me that I'd like to, if you don't mind, get a couple of thoughts from you on some of your prior work. So I would like to ask just two quick questions, and then on the past of some of this history stuff, and then if you don't mind, I'll pitch an open question and give you the floor. The first question that I would kind of like a little bit more of a back history, because I don't think people really have heard, at least with Pacific Greens that I know, have really heard your voice regarding some of your work down to the March to Miami. And this was 15 years ago, if I'm right, around 2003. And then the second thing there is some of your work with the Umpqua Old Growth National Forest. Just a couple of two background. And then what we got on the live feed, if you could give me a little bit about your thoughts on current LNG, liquefied natural gas, and what we're looking at here that is attacking the state of Oregon. So with that, please, I just give it an open floor.
Yeah, it was during 2003 on the march to Miami from Seattle to Miami that my wife and I camped across the country parallel to the bus that was painted blue and green. It was called the Blue and Green Machine. It was
Blue and Green Machine.
It was a coalition of the steelworkers and the environmentalists, which I had been in the Umpqua, working to stop the old growth logging in the national forest on the Umpqua.
Nice work.
Yeah, the Clinton Forest Plan was a mess.
The salvage rider, man. I was up at Enola Hill fighting that.
Yeah, we were successful in stopping old growth, wholesale old growth, clear cutting of old growth.
Right.
In the late 90s and early 2000s. I did that work from 97 to 2004 and went on the march to Miami in 2003. We stopped the free trade of Americas, which was going to expand NAFTA to the whole north and south. And
the disaster of NAFTA.
But we were 10,000 strong in the streets of Miami with Billy Bragg and a bunch of other people, and we stopped that free trade of the Americas in 2003.
That's awesome.
And I started fighting the LNG back in the Umpqua because it goes through a large swath of the Umpqua National Forest.
How long have we been battling these proposals?
It used to be called the Williams Connector.
Interesting.
Code, so
Williams Connector, and and what was there was a pitch that it was for imports.
Yeah, originally they were trying to sell it as imports, and they were going to say it's good for Oregon, and then we find out that it's actually just a way to export the fracking of the Midwest.
It was sham branding and marketing. There was just a total flipperoo.
Just increasing fossil fuel consumption in Asia that we don't need, and also taking huge swaths of national forests, wild forests, which would also increase the wildfire danger in those forests, especially since they were too cheap to odorize the natural gas, the liquid natural gas. And what's interesting about that, when they odorize it, the vultures circle above the pipeline to tell you when it's a leak because of the smell.
It's quite a metaphor with vultures circling around the pipeline.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting point I was not aware of. Thank you for mentioning that.
They were being too cheap to odorize it. And also, as you know, that whole terminal in Coos Bay is all on fill, which is a total disaster when you have a massive earthquake like we're going to have any day now. So those kinds of issues are just being overlooked, not only by the governor but by the feds, and it was kicked out of California. I don't know if you remember the original.
I do.
And then it was kicked out of the Columbia River, and now it's in southern Oregon, which is one of the poorest parts of Oregon. And those jobs, the trade-off between those fossil fuel jobs and the environment are just not worth it.
So, I mean, to me, right away, you've just hit a couple of major green whistles. And so I really do appreciate that. Your campaign really, with that LNG plank, is directly applying pressure to Governor Brown to step up and speak up, speak out.
And it's been Independent Party of Oregon plank even before I ran for governor. So the Independent Party of Oregon has been opposed to the LNG, unlike the two major other parties, Pepsi and Coke. So we've been at the forefront of that issue, along with campaign finance reform, as you saw on the sign here.
Yeah.
We can't really have any forest reforms or
Right.
environmental reforms.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with you and your campaign, and thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes. And I'd love to talk with you in an interview.
Okay.
You're going. Refresh my memory. Tuesday
Tuesday
at Roosevelt High School,
Channel
Channel 6.
We're going to be in the debates with the top two governor candidates. And what's great about this debate, it's unlike other debates, the kids are asking the questions. So I'm really looking forward to
How cool is
hearing
that?
what their questions are. Yes.
That's awesome. Starnes, independent for Oregon.
Yeah, thanks for your support. Hey,
Great.
finally.
Let me dust off the cookie from.
How are you?